So tell me, how do you pick who you see and who you don't see? You can't possibly see everybody one day a week. Do you triage and
Okay, well, we go through the list, and if there's a big list, we'll do 2 days a week. Now, remember, the initial visit is just step number one. So that's where we have law enforcement and EMS. Then we will be following up after that. I can't say we make a lot of home visits alone. I have, but I usually know those individuals, and I'm not particularly afraid. So we're not with them out of fear, but it sends a positive community message. So depending on your volume, yeah, you may have to do more than 1 day a week, or you may have to triage some things. But we do take out the people who are not local, who just came and overdosed in the area, and we don't prioritize them. The August, September thing, we were out a lot more because that rash of overdoses was just so horrendous.
Is there a certain amount of times you'll attempt to make contact with somebody when you initially have a visit with somebody and you can't get them?
You know, I'd say the average is probably 3. What we look for is to see, did we get any response? And was there a family member who responded? Was there any response at all? There was one family that was we were very engaged with. Unfortunately, they had 2 members of the family addicted. One of them did die. Because that family was so engaged, we made a lot of home visits. And unfortunately, the one young man did pass away from an overdose. His cousin, who also lived in that house, we're grateful is now in jail. So we'll work with the jail to make sure he's linked the day he gets out with follow-up treatment. So I think most of you know that release from jail is high relapse time and it's high overdose time. So we really, it can be a challenge, but we really try to work with the public defender or the judge to make sure we can get that timing. So there's some, and I try not to give up on anybody. There's a couple people in Coleraine I can't claim to really care about anymore. I hear what they've done to other people, and there's like a point, I mean, I'm not going to use their names, but it's like, I don't know that this guy's ever. And since he sells a third of the drugs, anyway. Now, if I was in front of him and he was overdosing, I'd Narcan. I don't do mouth to mouth. We already established that. But, you know, but there we do at some point back way off. Okay, so what we're doing on our end, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
What about the shortage of treatment facility beds?
This is a huge issue, and I guess you have to look community to community. What we've done is really worked with some providers to try to get quicker access to treatment. Now in Hamilton County, the county commissioners in July released additional money for opiate-only treatment. So that is pretty much dried up now. But we really work closely with providers. Now, I do have to say, in Hamilton County, we've had what's called Recovery Health Access Center for a very long time, which is us, which is kind of the front door to the system. So if you don't know where to go, you come to us, and then we link you with treatment. So we have pretty strong relationships, but you really do want to see who might partner with you, who might, I mean, we're kind of a good business deal because we deliver them to you, and they're usually already motivated. See if there's somebody who will help partner with you. The emergency room thing is real. We've tried to do better work with our emergency departments to get people linked up more quickly afterwards, but they're often I think just tired of the person, and they just send them out.
One of the benefits of the quick response team and its notoriety has been the willingness of some of the providers to reach out to us and say, you know what, we're willing to open a bed. We're willing to be an outpatient resource for you. We can provide next day assessment so we can get someone through an outpatient. We could start them in this process. We're not chasing someone. People have actually started calling us to say we want to be available to this team. And we just had our local coalition meeting last week, and that's exactly what the largest facility within the region said. We are now opening beds to be able to respond to the QRT services that are out there. So when these guys are out, they're now going to be beds because of the work that's being done. So kind of the doors are opening. But the relationships that these guys develop, they're the reason there's an 80% success rate when it comes to treatment, because they're in the field, they've built the relationship where people trust them and they will work with them. And I think that's the biggest piece for everybody here, that those relationships are huge when it comes to making successful opportunities for these people. But again, doors have opened for us just because we're doing something. So